Yes, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, the stage is going to be full of people, so I'm going to confine myself to this corner, and I would like to invite to join me Lisa Bielawa. So when this program got put together, I was not even thinking about the fact that Trojan Women is, about the fall of Troy, and Frescoes and Ash is about Rome. Right. So give us a little bit of background. This was originally music for an actual theatrical performance by a very well-known director.
Yeah, thank you. I just thought that you put the program together because of that, and that, so give yourself some credit. Yes, this I wrote the incidental music for the Euripides tragedy, Trojan Women, with director Joanne Akalitis, and it was a production at the Shakespeare Theater in Washington, D.C., back when it was in the Folger Library. And I remember Joanne, I don't know if any of you know about Joanne, but she's a very eccentric and wonderful lady. And she said to me, okay, nothing happens in this play. I just want you to know, nothing happens in this play. Women just come on stage and they cry because they've lost the men in their lives to the war. It's just a litany of women grieving. She said, so your task is to write me music for many different kinds of grief. So there was incidental music generated from that experience, that collaboration, and then a few years later I wrote a string quartet based on some of the material from that for the Miami String Quartet. And then a few years after that, SONYC commissioned me to create a string orchestra piece from the string quartet, which they then recorded. So that's what you'll hear tonight.
Apropos the grieving, there's one of the movements where you have the strings sliding and making a sound that really sounds very much like a wail. I don't mean the large animal, I mean the wailing sound of women grieving. So extraordinary. And you yourself are a violinist, so you know from whence you speak.
Yes, I'm a bad violinist, so it sounds even more like wailing when I do it. The three movements, Hecuba, Cassandra, and Andromache, each of these women has a different relationship to grief, a different kind of grief. Hecuba is a queen, and her grief is very stately. And then the second woman, Cassandra's grief is mad grief. She goes insane. She runs on stage and is, barefoot, and she's lost her mind. But Andromache, the last movement, is really the most sort of personal and painful of them. It's her 6-year-old son who's gotten thrown off the tower, and this has just happened. So it's really the most chilling moment of the play, and that's just sort of the way that emotional moment in the play, kind of how that seemed to me to be coming sort of from the inside, from the core, and that's sort of the way that I decided to draw that out. So that sound that you're talking about there is very sustained, slow glissandi that require the players to move extremely slowly from one pitch to the next.
It's so interesting, too, because the violin of the string instruments, I should say, not just the violin, of all instruments, really has the most vocal quality. So to create that sound of the voice, really, you've captured it. Well, at any rate, we look forward to hearing it. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.